Greetings everyone, howdy, and welcome back to Railway Empire 2. As we are making our progress through the United States through the 19th century, right now our small business that we have started is a bit profitable now. We are around $40,000 to $50,000 per week, and as we can see, we've also amassed a bit of coin already in the process. And of course, that gives me options in two directions. First, we can modernize our fleet now. Hopefully that will be expensive though, and we could also expand to another territory entirely. So what should it be? Now, expanding into new territory will cost me $225,000 right away. This makes the most sense to me. There's lots of cities up here, also some industry that we can use. Down here we have the Mid-Atlantic states that is equally expensive and also has 3 cities in. Don't forget, we cannot just connect these cities first. We need to connect this city with New York City before we can continue onwards, right? So this is not like a train fever, for example, transport fever, where we can just build anywhere. Nope, we need to connect it all with our existing network. So this could be very expensive because we would need to make the connection here as well. Just for one city, we invest over 300,000. That's not good enough for me right now, so I rather modernize the fleet and increase my profits in existing lines. Seeing that we already made a good profit, faster trains can lead to even more. Let's go ahead and start the researching, and over here we have it, the John Bull. Manufactured in England, can already generate considerable power with its horizontal long boiler and internal cylinders. The basic structure is superior in many respects and is therefore certainly forward-looking. It has more speed, 10 kilometers an hour more. It's still for mixed suitability, which is fine for us. It is not as reliable as the Grasshopper, but still the faster speed should make up for it. Let's invest the 300 points of innovation that we had. We're generating still only 60 per month right now, which is not a lot. And in that case, we can increase that, of course, later on. For now, though, not. And with that, well, first things first, what we can do now is with the John Bull, also with the Grasshopper, by the way, but with the John Bull as well, is, we can we can individualize our trains. We can add an aging effect to them. We can also add a paint job to them, right? We can go ahead with a custom one, making a custom color. And I already like this one with the red one. So yeah, why not? Let's keep this one intact. So the John Bull is going to be a blazing red bull. And now what I would like to do is I would like to modernize my trains. And we can do this by adding now the John Bull to this. For 2 trains on this line here, let's start with my most profitable one, the Albany-Syracuse line. This will cost me 50,000, right? So it's actually not that bad. Let's go ahead and do it. And there it is. The John Bull, the blazing red bull, waiting on its track for some reasons. They're too close together here. That's of course a problem. Oh, and it has a breakdown? No, it was just waiting for something, I guess. And yeah, this is definitely a way more beautiful train there in my opinion. The John Bull reached 26 kilometers an hour. This is a new record. And Niva Train is a new innovator, model kit for real railway workers. A new locomotive thunders through the vastness of America. I like the history bits here. I think this is a real picture. And look at that train. It is really noticeably faster than the Grasshopper, right? As it makes its way. Still no weather protection for those poor sods, but at least faster to get out of a thunderstorm. Or into a thunderstorm, I guess. Alright, something is very important though that we also will need to do is having a look at the condition of our locomotives. Not directly now, because I'm also switching this line now, right? So we're going to make it to the John Bull here too. That is the second profitable line that I have, the Buffalo-Syracuse line with the grain in between. Faster now, and with the speed of course also comes the profit. So that counts for the passenger and mail bags. As far as I know, the freight is not that important for speed. And a new record has been broken. We have reached 32 kilometers an hour with the John Bull. Guess it was on a long, stretched, flat land. We have 140 innovation points. What could I get here? Reduces construction cost of bridges. Allows you to upgrade train stations with warehouses. These allow goods to be exchanged between different rail lines. That is also something to consider right now. We cannot transport freight over longer distances than one stop, right? Because it will not be loaded into a warehouse otherwise. So we cannot do this right now. With that tag, we could do it. Having warehouses at train stations allows into exchange of goods. But that's something for later, I guess. Right now we want to make a profit as quickly as possible and some expansion. Yeah, and these trains here still, despite loading goods, they're considered express trains now. That's because of their speed, but also, so it has an average speed of 24 kilometers an hour, and it must transport express goods primarily, and that's the case, right? So it's an express train, and we get 10% more revenue out of this line here, for example. And another record, 34 kilometers an hour. How much do we get out of this one now? Be able to see that? $11,000. Alright, my profit is at 47, so it's increasing a bit. We still have one more line, I think. That is the New York Clark Station. And look at that. Now that we have consolidated the train line here, you remember we have deleted train number 1, right? And made this one into a bit of a better, an easier setup. The profit is increasing. Let's also change, no, let's not copy this. Let's add this one also to add the John Bull to this train line now here as well, right? So that we have really, wait a second, something is, you know, John Bull times 2. This one we can get rid of. There you go. And you know what? The John Bull actually maintains 30 kilometers an hour through the elevation. Is that right, or is this a bug? Or, no, it's actually lower. Look at that. That is still 3 times as fast as the Grasshopper in this elevation area here. That's at least something. That should already, it is increasing our profits for this line too. And we should actually breach the 50,000 now then. And they're also considered express trains because primarily they transport passengers and mail. I'm going to demolish my maintenance depot that we had here. Remember in Clark Station there were 2 train lines coming in, and it made sense for me back in the days to do this here. Now it doesn't, right? Because we would only maintain maintain 2 trains, which is not enough to warrant the cost. Let's go ahead and put this this maintenance depot up here in Albany, because there is 2 lines coming together that already have breakdowns. And with that, let's have a maintenance post right here in Albany. This will affect all the trains that come into this area, right? Into this green circle. It doesn't matter where I really build it, as long as the trains are in it. And let's also have a look at it. Constructed in 1830. Has a chance to reduce the breakdowns. Let's have the maintenance intensity at low. We could also get it to high, but look at that. The cost per week is just going really up there. It's 7,000 now that this single one here costs me, which is really, really high, to be honest. 7,000, right? So with that, we're dropping, of course, on our weekly balance. But we should reduce the chance of breakdowns now for those 2 very important lines. Unfortunately, the Buffalo-Syracuse line is not affected by that. And I will not build one for it yet, because it's so expensive. We will just have to live with some occasional breakdowns. However, what we can do is we can increase the wages for my engineers to increase their quality of life. And this will actually reduce the maintenance requirements for the locomotives by quite a bit. So let's have a look at that. Only with a bit more coin per week, we increase already the maintenance, reduce the maintenance requirements by 10%, right? With every 10%, up to 29% with a bit more money. I think this is actually better than a maintenance depot, but who am I to judge? We can also go ahead and increase their training budget to further reduce the maintenance requirements of the locomotives, and also invest a bit into welfare and recruitment. That's not it. But I think actually I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. And also we could cash out a bonus to them. Let's do this, right? And their efficiency is further increased. And we have now a reduced maintenance requirement of 50% for the locomotives. Do we actually need then a maintenance depot? I wonder. We'll just see. We can actually check this with one of my other train lines here. Right, so this bar here should now go or deteriorate way slower. And this, of course, will increase my profit, hopefully. And yes, we are growing rather quickly. 500,000, $500,000 we have. And let's actually, pay back our loan with that. And we also don't need to pay interest then anymore, right? Also a penalty of 940 we need to pay, but that's fine for the greater things. And with that, no more loans, no more debt. And 400,000 on the account. Back into researching, we have innovation points again to go for the next big tier. Tier 4 it is, I think. And this is the speedometer, and the efficiency of the driving operation can be increased. And this is increasing my early locomotives by 5% their speed, right, up to the John Bull. Go ahead, 5% more speed, that's it. We need that anyway if we want to get up here to the Dunham, the next bigger locomotive then. The smaller bonuses here, I don't care that much about them for now, I think. 10% more speed around corners actually is pretty helpful, I think. And perhaps 5% more ticket prices, especially since, yeah, we primarily transport passengers at the moment. This might be something. Oh, and this one is having not enough supplies for water, but do we not have a... Do we not have a water tower on this route? Did I forget it? Probably did, to be honest. We need a supply tower. I don't have one here. Yeah, let's have one. There you go. It should hopefully stop here now. Getting the water in. There you go. Taking quite some time. Alright, another thing we need to do now is the condition of my locomotives is deteriorating really fast, right? And with that we have quite a lot of breakdowns. So in the bigger stations where, trains come together, I would say in two. That is in Syracuse and in Albany, because in both of them there's two lines coming together. I would need to have a construction or an extension now of my train station. And this is a maintenance depot. Now I think it's not the same as the normal maintenance depot, because this one here costs more, and it also serves the trains, right? It maintains them. So let's go ahead and have the first construction here. And this should then replenish the condition of these trains here. Oh yeah, and this one is also really out of water. It is really expensive though. Albany, let's have the same extension here, the maintenance depot. There you go. I think it doesn't cost me anything beyond that, right? So maintenance depot, maintenance limit is 60%, and then it repairs the train. Oh, and General Steam, one of my competitors, has a new connection now. Currently 9 railway stations are connected. I wonder if we can connect with them as well. Right, so they have the whole west now, the western coast there. West coast, northwest coast I should say. So it comes in at 50%. And hopefully gets repaired then. It's being serviced, yes. It is being serviced, and as we can see, its condition is improved. And this is pretty important from now on, I think, because, yeah, condition is deteriorating really quickly. We can make the maintenance limit at 60%. I think that is fine. Of course, the lower this gets, the higher the chance for breakdowns. This is 5% more for my train stations, increases the number of passengers. 150,000. We could afford this. We get 5% more passengers. Go ahead and make a bid. Hooray! And we won an auction. I mean, I don't know if that was really worth it. I guess it was. 5% more passengers in all my stations is quite a lot. It's probably adding up then over time. Also, yeah, they're all being serviced now, right? So we have probably a pretty harsh drop in profitability. And I probably should have added that way earlier. So very expensive. The expansion to new territory is a bit off right now. There's also other things we can do here, like a restaurant that increases the revenue by passengers who transfer here by 15%. a post office, revenue from mail is increased by 20%, and the dispatch, the waiting time for trains is 20% shorter. So these are really cool extensions, are very expensive, that is. Yeah, it's a big era of being serviced right now. There's nothing else I can do. They're all waiting now in the stations. And there's the first one, fully repaired, holy cow. And we continue onwards with our business. Oh, look at that. A task completed. This transport a total of 4,000 mail bags. Do we get anything out of that? Alright, nothing I think for an individual task, but I think with one if we finished all of the tasks. Yeah, no reward unfortunately. Now since we're maintaining or servicing those trains again, I would like to lower the wages for my engineers again a bit. I think it's too expensive for what we get out of it. Alright, we can always cash out a bonus though to boost them for 100 days. Alright, so that's something. And increases maximum speed of locomotives. Oh, this is actually great. 2,000, we get a 5% boost. We could also, increase the wages a bit, making our trains faster with that. But let's be careful about it, right? The total cost per week is quickly going up then. And the train personnel, this is increasing the passenger prices. And security, this is increasing security of freight. Now, in that case, we don't have any conflict yet with my other companies, right? So they're pretty far away. But there will be sabotages at some point. We have the fastest train, John Bull, reached 37 kilometers an hour. That's of course because, we are boosting it with our wages. I can take all the publicity I want. And also my weekly balance exceeded 50,000 per week. I'm happy with that. Now we have perfectly maintained trains, boosted with wages to reach new heights, new speeds. This is also giving me a good express train ticket revenue boost then. Next up on my research, we have 140 points. I would like to most likely go for the leaf spring suspension. We have a lot of curves, right? And increases the running smoothness of the trains and faster cornering is possible. By 10%, which is, I think, a lot. Let's go ahead and do this. Another tag unlocked. This one here, costs of auctions is reduced. But then I think we are aiming now for the next locomotive then as quickly as possible. And also we are in business for over a year now. And what we've achieved so far. Pretty big train line there. I like how much we can specialize and maintain and invest into just one single track system, to be honest. It is a lot, right? With all the extensions, the buildings, the wages, the locomotives on the line. You can really individualize every line if you want to. And all of them are equally profitable. So I think there's nothing that we could improve that much on them, as no line is falling behind. Now, the cities should continue to grow, of course, because they're being serviced now quite a bit. Fulfillment of demand is at 58%, so we have now 22,000 in Albany, for example. But as we can see, there's still room for improving of the train usage. Not for freight, really, but for passengers and mail bags. So there's more that we could do here, right? That is delivering people to more destinations and stuff like that. So this will then boost it. There is still some other businesses around us. We can have a look at them. There is, for example, over here, the Williams fattening milk production. However, I think milk is something we don't need yet. Yep, we need 35,000 citizens in a city for milk demand to open up. There's quite a lot of demands here that we can still open up over time. The milk is not one of them, strangely enough. It seems to be a luxury good. Quarterly balance has increased quite a bit, I hope. And as we can see, our quarter profits are actually declining, are they? No, they're actually increasing, of course. There it is. That's the latest one. Right, so we are making a good profit increase overall. And my most important one is passenger services, right? 240,000, that is. And freight actually is the least one. Mail is in between. Also interesting to know. So we probably should invest a bit more into boosting those, like passenger services, ticket prices, or hotels and restaurants. Let's have a look at my station. Oh, there's a breakdown, really? I mean, we have a very good condition. We have good trained personnel, well-trained personnel. What is this? There should be no breakdowns, actually. Strange. Now, in this station here in Albany, there's two passenger lines coming together, right? The one from Syracuse and the one from New York City, going to Albany or via Albany. And I would like to use this to make an extension. We have a couple of them available. The restaurant increases the revenue of passengers who start or transfer at the station by 15% for 68,000. Dispatch hall, market hall is doing the same like the restaurant, but weaker and more expensive. And the post office by 20%, which is also cool, I think, right? So Albany is going to be a hub there for me. Let's start with the restaurant. And this is adding now the restaurant building. There it is. To Albany, as this station is growing. Beautiful building there. And you know what? While we're here, let's also add the... Where is it? Where's my Albany station? Can I click on Albany station? Oh, I see. I can only have one extension. I cannot just spam them all into one. I think we can unlock more down the road, but the button is gone for building another one. Totally. Alright, we're limited by that. Interesting to know. So we have to live with the restaurant for now, in this very busy station of Albany. And we continue onwards here in the next episode with territorial expansion. Stay tuned!